Welcome to another video and thank you for joining. Today I'm just going to share a few experiences that I had as a DIYer or a content creator. I'm going to share with you some of the good, some of the bad and some of the ugly of just what I have experienced in last year and a big part of this year. I thought it was time for a new mani. And then at the same time, after I started, I decided that I might as well record it and share my experiences with you. So I've already started just by breaking the seal of the top coat, as I was wearing a rubber base for around about 3 weeks now. So I just decided that it's time for a fresh set. I could use the sanding band too. And I use my drill on a very slow speed. And this is actually a drill bit that you would use to clean your cuticle areas. But I find it convenient to go into the sides just to break the seal before we're going to soak off. And I use it on a very, very slow speed. I've learned my lesson not to use a nail drill on my natural nails. And I won't use it on anybody else for that matter. I've learned my lesson. For the big part of last year, my nail beads were so thin and damaged. And when you're not experienced enough, it makes it difficult to determine about the product on the nail, between the product and the natural nail. And you could easily just overfile your own nail bead. So the only time that I would use a nail drill is just to break the seal before I do soak-offs. So instead of the sanding band, I like using this drill because I can get into the sides and just break the seal on the sides and get as close as possible to the cuticle area, which is going to make it a lot easier just for soaking off the product. We call it the cuticle area, but I have previously watched a lot of videos from Nails by Jen round about last year, where she was adamant by trying to teach people that it's not called the cuticle, but the eponychium. The cuticle is just below the eponychium. And below the hyponychium is where you get rid of the debris on your actual cuticle. Would be on the top part of your nail. I really enjoyed watching her videos when she was still on YouTube. I'm not sure what happened there. I know she's only on Instagram now with her designs. I used to enjoy her videos. I got inspired by her videos and all her ideas. And I also used to watch her vlogs that I quite enjoyed. At the time that my nails were so badly damaged, I even played around with dual forms and polygel. Tested out the gel remover onto my nails. And I think the videos will still be up there if you want to watch it. But my nails were so thin and damaged that I would get these heat spikes when I was curing the polygels. And that was actually a very bad thing to do, which I only realized afterwards. And you'll see that I used the drill on a very, very low speed. So it won't be cutting me, I won't be hurting myself. And I'm taking great precaution. And then I've got my little container where I keep my cotton pads and the clips that we're going to use to do the soak-off. And then what I do, I just cut it in half. And then we're just going to place some pure acetone onto these cotton pads. Then the clips are very convenient to use. If you don't have the clips, you can also use aluminium foil. And once you've placed your cotton pad onto your nail, you can just take a piece of aluminium foil and wrap it around your finger and keep it to soak. It's working just as well as the clips. I have been doing my own nails for many years by only using regular polishes, and I would use tips and then apply the polishes. That was at the time when I was still unaware of the nail stands, that you can do the press-on sets before you apply. And it's only when I started up my YouTube channel that I started investigating or investing in some gel polishes and started doing some press-ons. And being on social is where I picked up on the allergies that people were experienced with the gel products that they've been using. And it's also after what I have experienced on my own natural nails that I have decided to stick with press-on nails. I would create my own set on the nail stands and only then apply it to my natural nails. And I would also only apply it with nail glue, no other products. The only products that I found that was safe for me to use was a builder gel, just to give my nails a bit of a protection while they were growing out, or a rubber base that I would wear for a few weeks. But at the time when I experienced the bad and damaged nails that I had, being over-filed and using certain products, what has helped for me is just not to wear any products till my nails started growing out a bit and became a bit stronger, which took, I think, up about 6 months to 8 months. And at that time I took some tablets, Boyton tablets, to help with the growth by wearing gloves when I did the dishes or working with any chemicals. And then I would do some oil baths where I would soak my hands in oil. And I will show you the mixture that I've been using, that I've got from a trained professional on social. And I started using that. And I would apply that quite often during the day, as many times as I can, especially before I go to bed. This is a nice container to have with all the necessary tools to try and remove the product after it's soaked. And once I'm done using these tools, I will just sterilize it and then put it back into the container. And it's also important to know not to use pressure on your nails when trying to remove products. I'd rather soak it for a bit longer till it becomes soft enough just to remove without having to use pressure on your nails. So what I have decided for myself, that prevention is better than cure. And that's why I've only been using press-on sets for my own nails and my own use. And to me, that's the safest way. You won't see me do any videos on my channel where I would apply any other products onto my own nails. I would leave that to the experts. You can still have a lot of fun by trying some certain designs or all types of designs with all the type of mediums out there. Gel polishes, acrylic, polygels, acrylic gels. You can still have some fun by using a practice hand or a practice finger, or even apply it on your stand, on your press-ons, and try and learn the skills on how to go about it without having to use your own nails and then just cause damage to it. It takes a long time to heal, especially with allergic reactions. I don't think there's turning back on that. You will see there's still some product left on the free edge, but don't try and force it to try and get it off. Rather soak it for another bit, and then once it's soft you can take it off completely. And you'll see I'm not using too much pressure on my nails, especially on the free edge. I guess what I'm trying to put out in this video is just to help somebody else. And it's purely based on my own experiences that I had. There's a lot of resources on social to help us, to try and prevent all the bad that can happen. And if you do make use of a nail tech, be sure to know that she's got the know-how, she knows the products, She can do smooth applications. Try and prevent for your nail technician to file away your nails, to try and get better adhesion of the products, because that's where the causes of a lot of damage comes in, and especially by using products that they don't have the know-how or don't know about the dangers in the products itself. I want you to look at your current set that you're wearing today, and if you have to remove the product, what would lie underneath? What is the state of your nails currently? What has caused the damage, if there are any? Are your nails healthy? How do you go about preventing some damage or allergic reactions? Try and eliminate the problems that might cause it. Try and take care of your nails. I think the most important is to start taking the necessary precautions to try and get where you want to be. We all want to use some pretty nails. Our hands are very important. We use them on a daily basis. And I'm not saying that press-ons would be a solution. A lot can go wrong too. You can have some breakage, or if you bump your nail, it can cause permanent damage to your natural nail. Try and prevent to use your press-ons or nails as tools. Take the necessary precautions. And if there's any lifting, to rather remove it, to try and prevent greenies. And if you do wear some acrylic or gels, make sure that there's no lifting. And if you are making use of a trained professional, they will know what to look out for to prevent lifting and how to lightly file that. A trained professional would be able to do a refill without having to file down the product currently on the nail completely. I really hope today that by sharing my current experiences with you, that you would be able to take the best or make the best decisions for yourself in order to have a healthy set of nails, to start taking care of it, and that you would take the necessary precautions and do for yourself what is necessary and the best for you. And now after removal, I just take a file with a very soft grit and just take off any excess product that might still be on the nail, just by buffing it very lightly. And then I like to just leave it for a bit to penetrate. And then I would just carry on with my day for a bit and let it penetrate, allowing the dry skin to absorb the oils for a bit. So this is about 4 weeks growth while I was wearing a press-on set. But I'm going to cut it down before I apply my next set. The system that I'll be using today is from BTArtbox, a soft gel tip system. And the tips that I'm going to use is a Cat Eye X Coat tips that was gifted to me by Nectar Nails. She's also a creator on YouTube, a South African friend, very kind. She's got some great designs that she does. She currently has 16.3k subscribers, and she was very kind in sending me some of her products that she's been received. As a matter of fact, she had a giveaway about 3 months ago. If you want to go check out her video and check out the design that she has done. She's very good at what she do, and it would be great if you can also go over to her channel and give her some love and support. Apart from the short almond tips that I received, there was also the set of Milky Whites. It's a 2-in-1 soft gel system, very easy to apply. But today I'm going to be using the short coffin that she has sent me. That is a cat eye. Also X-coat tips that I'm going to apply today in the form of a short coffin that I'm going to use. Gives you all the instructions on the back on how to go about applying the set. And this is what the tips look like without the top coat applied to it. And then you also get a builder gel system with it, number 1. And then the top coat that you would apply afterwards. And then you also get the 28 days solid gel glue that you can apply the tips with, that you will need to flash cure. I'm just going to go ahead and find my sizes, see that they fit properly, and then I'm just going to put them aside for now. I'm just going to make sure that it fits sidewall to sidewall and try and find the right sizes. I will leave the details for Nectar Nails on YouTube in my description box. And then you will be able to go and check out what she's done with the same gel X system. She's made use of a unicorn chrome powder that she's applied to these tips, and then she's done a shell design afterwards where she has used the builder gel. If you would like to see the nice design she's been doing, you can just go check out her channel. I think she's done the video about 3 months ago. Her name is Nono, and we have become very good friends, and I'm learning quite a lot from her. So thank you once again, Nono. I really appreciate you. So while I was preparing for my next set, the cuticle oil has done its job to nourish the nails again after soaking in the acetone. So I'm just starting off by cleaning the cuticles again and take off any debris that might still be on the nail. And then I'm just going to use a lint-free wipe to make sure that we clean the nails properly before application. And I just use a bit of alcohol. And then I'm going to cut down the free edge a bit before we go ahead with application. So I'll just take a file with the soft sides and just make sure that I smooth out the edges. And then I go in with my buffing block just to make sure there's no nails still sticking up, and just smooth out the free edge again without having to scratch the nail. And I'm going to show you the way I've been applying my nail tips. That lasts me up to 3 weeks, sometimes 4 weeks, without popping off or having any lifting or any problems. The time I decide to remove them, they still look good. I could actually go for another week. And this is the solid gel glue that comes with the system. But because I don't use any products on my own nails, I'm not going to use this today. Because I know when I try and use this glue, I'm going to have some spillage on the sides that's going to touch my skin. And this is the gooseneck lamp that you would use to flash cure But this is my go-to glue that I always use for applying my tips. And this is the glue that I would also use to apply my press-on nails. Then I like to apply a few drops on the inside of the nail and then onto my own nail, just to make sure or prevent any lifting. And then you will see that I press it down quite firmly. I start lifting it at the top by the cuticle and I bring it down. And I make sure that the sides attach properly. And if I do have spillage on the sides, I just take a piece of paper towel and wipe that down, so it doesn't get onto my side walls or onto my fingers. So if I do get some spillage, I just wipe it off with a piece of paper towel. And then I will keep the tip on for a few minutes to make sure that it dries properly. And then you will see I press it down quite firmly and then wiggle it from side to side to make sure there's no air bubbles underneath. And I use extra precaution by applying, because you cannot really see through the design. It's got a cat eye coating on it, so you won't be able to determine if there's bubbles underneath. So I just take extra precaution. So I'm just going to show you how to apply on the next two nails before we move on. And because the glue is quick dry, you need to make sure that your nail has been put on straight. Then you'll see I just get rid of any overspill of the glue. And then I keep it for a few minutes. The 28-day X-Coat gel that came with the kit will not go to waste, because I can always use that to attach my gemstones to my designs. And now that we've got all the tips applied and glued on properly, I'm just going to use a file and get rid of the little tags on the front of the free edge to smooth it out. And then I also like to go underneath the nail just to try and get rid of sharp edges on the sides. I like the short coffin style and the length of these tips. To me, I'm able to manage with it quite well. And now that we're done, I just go in with the IBD Intense Seal. It's got a mirror finish to it. It gives great protection and it's long lasting. And once we've applied the top coat, we're just going to cure for 60 seconds. We know it takes a lot of effort and time to do your own mani, especially when you do it yourself at home. People don't have the patience to go sit down and soak off a mani or soak off the current design. But it's at the end makes it worth it to prevent damage to your own nails. And if you had the patience to watch up to now, I'm going to show you of what my nails looked like and what I have been struggling with and what the reason is behind this video and why I decided to put it out there. If I can only help one person by showing my nails and the state that it was in, and that I know what I know now, is that I'm not going to look back on it. And I just consider myself very lucky that I've not experienced any allergic reactions to date, mainly because I think I have not used any gel products directly onto my nails, as that I would mostly use press-ons. So as a DIYer, to conclude this video, I would recommend that you go for proper training if you want to use your e-file, and take great prevention on products that you might use on your nails that make contact with your skin, that might cause some allergies or bad reactions. As the saying goes, prevention is sometimes better than cure. And believe me if I tell you that it can take a long time to try and get your nails in a better state again, if you're lucky enough. I really hope that you would be able to take something from this video and me sharing my experience with you, and to please take the necessary precautions. I'm making a point of watching a lot of educational videos that's available and freely available on social, that has helped me on my journey up to now. And once we've cured the top coat for 60 seconds, I just go in with a lint-free wipe again and a bit of alcohol. And then before applying my cuticle oil, I go wash my hands first with soap and water. And only then will I apply my cuticle oil. I think apart from doing a voiceover on this recording, I think this was one of the most difficult recordings that I've done to date. But the aim is really to try and help someone else. And I really hope that you can take something from this recording that would make it worth the while. For my next recording, I will need to wear some gloves because I've got 3 stamping designs coming up this week. And I would like to keep this money as long as possible. I really hope that you could take something from this video, learning from my experience. If you have watched this recording this far and you think that this information might be valuable to you, please leave a red heart emoji in the comments to show your appreciation. I really hope that you can take something from this. Thank you for taking the time and spending time with me again. I really appreciate all of you. Keep well, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.